Hey everybody, it's Brooke with the Buttered Home. Welcome to Messy Kitchen Monday. Sorry for the pause, Facebook. We had to wait on Instagram. It's a little tricky moving around in the kitchen with two cameras and everything else we have going on. But how are y'all tonight? Hopefully y'all are doing really well and you are in process of planning for the big turkey day next week. I know that we are. My mom and I finalized plans today for not only Thanksgiving, but for Christmas too. So we have been really busy. I'm a planner, so I like to plan. I'm very organized when I plan, just not that organized in the rest of my life. If I could be as organized planning as with the rest of my life as I am when I plan for people to come to my house, then everything would be great and wonderful, but we all got something, right? So nonetheless, we are happy that you are here with us. If it is your first time watching, drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. And be sure to share this video on Facebook and invite your friends to join us on Monday nights because we have a really good time. Hang on, Tanner's playing with her hair and she's bumping my light, which is gonna bump my camera.
So good.
Anyway, we're not real tech savvy here at the Buttered Home, but that's all right too. That's what lets you know this is real and authentic, and we have a lot of fun doing what we do, and Tanner's sitting here shaking her head. Anyway, if you're new joining us, because I know we have several new people on Facebook and on Instagram, if you have any questions, we urge you to ask them in the comments. If we have a chance, we will answer them live. If not, we will answer them as soon as we get done. We are shaking up Thanksgiving this month. The big day is less than or just over a week away. So we showed you last week how to make a pan of easy, basic cornbread dressing. I've had a lot of messages about people who love it, who say that they have normally been intimidated by dressing and they're not now. So that makes me extremely happy because that is what I strive to do here on the Buttered Home, is to show you that some recipes, old-fashioned recipes, are not as scary as you might think they are. So what do you do after you have made a bunch of dressing, actually have some left over, and you're tired of eating it? But you just don't, if you're like me and you're a little crunchy, then you don't want to necessarily throw everything away. I have a hard time throwing away food, really hard time throwing away food. That's why since I've been doing the Buttered Home, we've all put on a little extra poundage because we eat what we photograph. And so we're all fat and happy here at the Buttered Home, and we hope that you will be too. But we have about a half pan of that yummy dressing left over. And what I did is I took some plastic wrap and I covered it real good, like really close to the dressing. And then I put 2 layers of foil on top of that and I put it in the freezer. So it's already cooked. Everything in it is done. We took it out yesterday, let it thaw at room temperature. And then I took it out earlier today and we let it come back to room temperature after being in the fridge while it finished thawing. So now I'm going to show you a fun, delicious way to transform this cornbread dressing into something heavenly, more heavenly than it is as is right now. And any time that you talk about making something more heavenly, it always, always, always involves deep frying. Now, as you are well aware, if you are a seasoned Buttered Homer, then you know that our recipes are good, but not always good for you. Okay, so that's full disclaimer. So we are going to take this dressing, and I am simply going to take it and break it up and put it into a mixing bowl, a large mixing bowl. We're going to kind of just crumble it with our hands and mash it. And the reason why you want to do this at room temperature is because sometimes it won't ball up very good if you don't. So when it's at room temperature, then it's going to be wonderful, just like you need it to be. So we've got that in place, and then I'm going to wipe my hands off because I got to reach in my cheese bag, and I don't want to get dressing in my cheese bag. So y'all bear with me. So my lovely assistant hands me my cheese bag from off frame. And then to this dressing that's already wonderful with the onions and the celery and the butter and the eggs, we're gonna add some sharp cheddar cheese, or mild, whatever you have. You don't have to buy anything special for this. And then we're going to take a spoon and just mix those up as is. Because this dressing is already good and seasoned, so you don't have to add anything more to it. All right, we got it good and mixed. And then I'm going to move this stuff out of the way, clean up my mess. And here I have a breading station. I've got some plain flour that's just been lightly seasoned with a little salt and a little pepper. I have 2 eggs and buttermilk mixed together, whipped together, and then I have panko breadcrumbs. On the stove behind me, I have my Dutch oven with a little 2 cups or so of oil in it that I have preheated to 375 degrees. Yes, we are there. So if you don't have a thermometer, and I want to make sure y'all that can see this little thermometer that I have, it kind of clips on the side of the pan. These are always really good to get, especially anytime you're frying anything, because it just takes the guesswork out of it. So what we're going to do now, and one of the things that I say in this recipe on the butteredhome.com is that this is a very fun recipe to get your kids involved in, because you're in the kitchen. If your kitchen is like mine, it's already messy. So no harm, no foul, right? So we're going to take a good little handful of this dressing and cheese mixture, and we are going to cup our hands together and squeeze it and press it and make about a 2-inch ball. See how pretty that is? It almost looks like a sausage ball, but it's just as good, maybe better. So now you're going to take this and you're going to lightly dust it with that plain flour, seasoned flour mixture. And I'm doing it in my hand just so you can kind of see it better. That way it won't get lost in here. We're going to tap off the excess and make sure we're still good and formed. Then we're going to go into the egg and buttermilk mixture, turning to make sure we coat all that flour. And I like to do it with a fork. It just makes things a little easier. That way you keep one hand dry, one hand wet. So I'm going to take that out and just let the excess come off. And then my panko breadcrumbs, I'm going to do the same thing to that wonderful egg and buttermilk mixture. As I make a mess, I am going to just put those panko breadcrumbs on lightly, and then you have this beautiful dusted wonderful ball of dressing with all that cheese in there. And then I'm going to set it to the side. I'm going to do a couple more real quick just so we can kind of recap and show you how messy and how easy it is. And if you had, do we have any questions?
Yes, kind of a double part question. If
Okay.
you don't have a Dutch oven, what can you use? And could you use a frying pan?
Yes, you can. It just might take a little bit longer. You might have to do a little bit more work as far as turning these. Of course, the deeper you can do it, the less you have to mess with them in the pan, in the fryer. So naturally, if you have something, even, I mean, I have fried in a saucepan before. It just gets really hot really fast. So you just have to regulate your temperature. So if you did do that, you know, an investment for a thermometer is a lot cheaper, and you can use just a regular saucepan to do that in. So let's get this all gooped up. And now, one thing I like to mention is that I like to let these rest after breading them for a little while, because that just kind of helps everything adhere.
This just a little closer because you can
Okay.
disappear whenever you're on Facebook.
Oh yeah. All right, so again, we got another one. I'm gonna set that one to the side. All right, and then I think I've breaded enough, you kind of get the idea. I've got 2 already done that I've rested, and I'm gonna drop those in the oil as soon as I wash my hands. And I'm gonna do these 2 live because I want you to see how fast they cook. Literally all you're doing is you are browning the outside and kind of cooking just that surface area that we just dry, wet, and then panko breadcrumb battered. So it really doesn't take them long, like anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes. If you fry in shallower oil, it may take a little bit longer as you have to turn them. But if you're able to fry them in oil that's, you know, probably a good 2 to 3 inches deep, it kind of takes care of itself. Now that oil is hot, so you're gonna carefully take these with some tongs and just kind of set them in there. And I'm gonna continue to let these 2 rest a little bit, and we're gonna cook these. And I have some ready already that are not gonna be too hot for us to handle. So let me just kind of clean up my station here. And see, well, you can't see, but just trust me when I say they're already starting to brown. So I'm just gonna kind of flip them over to get those tops done, while I keep an eye on them. And now the next great thing about this is you can not only reuse your leftover dressing, but I'm going to show you how to reuse some of that leftover homemade cranberry sauce that we made week before last. So we're going to take that leftover sauce, and all the measurements for everything we're doing will be at thebutteredhome.com later this week. So never fear, you can get all the measurements there. All right. We are almost there. Just turn them just a little bit more. All right, and to the cranberry sauce. And this is another one of those recipes, whenever I show you this, you're just gonna have to trust me. So to the cranberry sauce, we're going to add some sour cream. Like I said, you're just gonna have to trust me. And to the sour cream and cranberry sauce, we're going to add some wonderful Duke's mayonnaise. Okay. And then to that, I love this sweet hot mustard. But I would get any kind of flavored mustard that you like. I also have Dijon, and I also have some horseradish mustard that both do really, really well. All right, will you turn my heat off? All right, I'm gonna show you. So this is like probably less than 2 minutes. And I'm gonna just drain one and just show you guys how pretty and brown that is in that short amount of time. Isn't it pretty? It almost looks like a big old hush puppy. So, to finish off our sauce, we're gonna add some of this sweet hot mustard. Ooh, and it's gonna make weird noises.
Should bang it on the counter first.
Yeah, I for sure went like that first. All right, and then I like to kind of just put the sour cream and the mayonnaise and the mustard on top and kind of get those mixed in. and then just fold those cranberries in. And it makes this beautiful kind of swirled pinkish red sauce. Oh my, it is so good. That sweet hot mustard is really kind of got a snap to it. And then the sour cream just kind of cuts down on the tartness of the cranberry sauce. And the mayonnaise just makes it good. So you have this beautiful pink sauce now, and we have some of our fritters cooled and ready to eat. And look how pretty they are. And I'm gonna bust one open. And you can see all that glorious cheese inside. At least I hope you can anyway. And they are fantastic. So you just take these guys and you dip you a little of that sauce out and you just run that through that sauce. Oh God, it's so good. Oh, so good, so good. So what a fun way to reuse your Thanksgiving leftovers, right? I mean, it's unbelievable. How many of you already have most of this stuff in your refrigerator? I mean, besides the dressing, of course. But you can take this and get creative with it. You can look at and other different flavor profiles to it other than just the cheese. This, like the dressing, is just a really good basic recipe for you to build on. That's one of the things we like to do here at the Buttered Home, and it's just so much fun, and it's a delicious way to have fun too. Next week, guys, be here next week, because next week we're going to be making bacon chutney. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, bacon jam, bacon chutney, and then we're going to fry up some zucchini and serve that zucchini with that fancy little bacon chutney on there, and it's going to change your life. So for Thanksgiving, if you want to go ahead and prepare, as we're going to be dropping that recipe early so you can have it for your Thanksgiving table. We're going to show you how to make bacon chutney, and then you can take your vegetables and just squash, zucchini, whatever, and you can fry them up just as quick as we fried these up tonight, and make little fried vegetable hors d'oeuvres with that bacon chutney. Oh, y'all, it's life-changing. Bacon is glorious on its own, but when you slow cook it with sugar and with peppers and everything, all that good stuff, oh, it just becomes just something else entirely. So I'm really excited to share that recipe with all of you, and so many more. I know I've mentioned before, but December, we're gonna have a ball in December. So we've got so much to look forward to. And so we hope you'll be here every Monday night for the rest of 2019, because we're gonna have a really jam up good time. If you haven't already, go on Facebook to the top of the page and click sign up, and you can go to the Buttered Home and follow us. And you can also sign up for our VIP email list. For those of you on Instagram, go to the link in the bio, and it will take you to a little sign up form so that you can be a Buttered Home VIP and get these recipes before anybody else. So we love y'all. We have just enjoyed this year so much with all of you, so it kind of saddens me that we're closing on another Buttered Home year, but what a year it's been, and we've got so much more to look forward to in 2020. We've got some big things on the horizon that you all will get to be present for, so we're happy about that. But in the meantime, join us here on Monday nights at 7:30. So from the Buttered Home to your home, we love y'all. Bye.